Okay, it's live now.
It's live?
All right.
Okay. Start.
Okay.
Michelle, you're on.
Oh, hi, everyone. Greetings, everyone. Let me welcome you all to Jamaica Diaspora Legal Support Sector and Immigration Task Force inaugural meet and greet. I am yours truly, Michelle Fanger, the chair, and the vice chair is Veronique Blake Lopez. Before I go into details about what we do as a task force, I'm going to have Leah Gillings talk to us about what our task force do and what they are. Leo, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much, boys. So good to see, so good to see so many faces that are female in this profession. Once upon a time, this was dominated by male faces, but I am happy. I believe that women are the best leaders in the world. And I say that with all my heart because we have 22 leaders and there's probably me and another gentleman that are male on this task force movement. This movement started somewhere back in 2013 with the Jamaica Diaspora Education Task Force. And for the past 7 years, it has grown tremendously, creating partnerships and collaborations and creating projects that are geared towards Jamaica and Jamaicans. And in 2015, we started some other task forces like the Agriculture Task Force, the Technology Task Force, Crime in Intervention and Immigration Task Force. And we operated, for 5 years independently in silos. And last year, we all got together and we say, hey, listen, why don't we just design something that we can create more robust projects toward Jamaica. And I must tell you that the task force movement, it's unlike what you would consider the 501c3s or the nonprofit organizations and the foundations of the world. They're not, it's not, coming to the task force, you have to unlearn pretty much what you know about running a nonprofit organization, because we don't handle money. We don't do fundraisers where we get money and put it into bank accounts. We don't have bank accounts to do that. We support fundraisers, and so it has grown so big. Now we have the better of 16 task forces across the spectrum, and we have leaders from 21 countries that's represented in task forces. I want to go down. This is important for me because I want to give persons an idea of the types of task forces that are out there. We have the Agriculture Task Force. We have Arts, Culture, and Creatives. We have an Awards and Recognition Task Force. We have Behavioral and Mental Health Task Force. We have Citizen Security and Safety Task Force. We have Education Task Force. We have the Jet UK Task Force. We have the Middle East Task Force, Environment and Climate Resilience, Health Task Force, Learning and Development Task Force, Parenting and Other Abled Persons, Empowerment Task Force, Technology, Worldwide Diaspora Task Force, Youth Empowerment Task Force, and White Pal. And then the last one, but not the least, because I'll tell you that someone will tell me right now that this is the best task force, the Legal Sector Support and Immigration Task Force. I'm doing great. I am happy to see you guys. I welcome you, and I really, I'm going to turn on my speaker so that I hear you all over my space, so I won't miss a thing here today. Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank you for doing such a wonderful job in this arena.
You're welcome. You're welcome, and thank you so much for being here. Well, getting back to everything, I know that everybody saw our flyer post and they're asking a few questions. They're pondering, like, what is this task force? And why should I tune in? And is it worth my time to tune in? As this event progresses, your questions will be answered. So stay tuned. So what is the Jamaica Diaspora Legal Support Sector and Immigration Task Force? This task force is comprised of 21 members. They are lawyers, judges, and law students that are of Jamaican descent. The members practice in the various areas of law, such as environmental law, immigration law, employment law, foreclosure, family, tax, probate, and personal injury. So it's a vast area. We have a vast majority of attorneys practicing in different areas. Also, these attorneys are located across several states within the United States. We have attorneys in Jamaica or attorneys licensed here in the US and Jamaica. We have attorneys in St. Kitts, Nevis, and England. So you see, we're trying to be global. So the primary mission of our task force is to provide support to Jamaicans on a global scale. So we want to be a point of contact where people can come to if they have legal questions. But mind you, even if you reach out to the organization, a client-attorney relationship is not established. You would have to speak directly to an attorney, and that attorney will have to engage you and move forward. So attorneys from our task force are tasked with educating Jamaicans globally by organizing various immigration seminars and forums. But as a result of COVID and the pandemic, we can't go from state to state or country to country. So everything will be done virtually. So in the future, what we plan to do is to have virtual town hall meetings monthly. And also we'll have seminars where an attorney that specializes or practices in a particular area will provide information in that area, like pertinent changes in the law and how it affects you, and just guidance. But as I stated before, as you're aware, there isn't an attorney-client relationship, so just be aware of that. And we do have a Facebook page. The Facebook page is called the Jamaica Diaspora Legal Support Sector and Immigration Task Force. You can definitely follow us on Facebook, because on that page, what we'll do is update you on our activities that we are planning for our monthly activities. So, and also we're gonna make it interactive, where we'll be having polls, we'll be asking questions. And if you do have questions, you could definitely send a message to us through the Facebook page, or you could go on jdtan.org and send us a message, and we'll respond. An attorney that practices that area will respond to your question. Okay, so I hope you understand what this task force is about. So I know you're saying, who is Michelle Fanger other than the chair, and what do I do? Well, I am also an attorney, and I have been practicing for approximately 10 years. My areas of practice are immigration, family law, and tax. I do represent individuals before the immigration court or the US tax court. That's my expertise. I'm also involved in community events, such I was also a hearing officer for the St. Petersburg Housing Authority. And I also do pro bono work, where I was acknowledged for my efforts by the Florida Bar, and also by the Jacksonville Area Legal Aid. Okay, so that's about me, but enough about me. Now let's meet the other attorneys on our task force. The first attorney that we'll be talking to is Colette Small. Colette, it's over to you.
Thank you. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Leo. Everyone, it is my pleasure to be here. Like Michelle said, my name is Colette Small. I am from St. Anne, Jamaica, and moved to the United States as a teenager. I currently practice in the area of elder law. That's my specialty. I am an expert in that area. I have been certified by the Florida Bar as a board certified elder law attorney. Partner Slater and small PM section of the county in Pembroke Pines, as well as the section of the county in Coral.
Michelle,
Yes,
we're losing her.
Colette. Okay.
Colette?
Okay.
Association, which is our local voluntary bar association, as well as I am on the board of directors for the Academy of Florida Elder Law Attorneys. I stay pretty active in my area of practice.
Okay, we're going in and out.
Yeah.
We're having a
Pastor,
thunderstorm here.
yeah.
If Colette doesn't come back in a few minutes, I'll turn over to our next presenter. Ava, are you here? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now.
There she is.
Oh, okay,
Welcome, welcome.
I'm here. Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Abigail Hugh, and I am a native of St. Thomas, Jamaica. I came here when I was 8 years old, and now I am a family law attorney here in Fort Lauderdale. I started my own practice in 2018. It's called the Heritage Firm, and it is a marital and family law firm exclusively. I do prepare wills, but generally it's a family law practice. When I say family law, I mean divorce, paternity, child support, prenuptial agreements, postnuptial agreements, custody agreements, things of that nature. Now, with respect to my background and my legal experience, as well as my community interaction with respect to professional organizations, I am a member of the Florida Bar. I'm a member of the Broward County Bar. I am on the board of the TJ Reddick Bar Association, which is the Broward County Black Bar Association. I'm also on the board of the PACE Center for Girls Fun Brunch event that we have every year. PACE Center for Girls serves young women around the state of Florida who are still in high school and are from underprivileged backgrounds and sometimes have troubled backgrounds. So that's one of the organizations that I'm involved in at this time. I'm also the social chair for the Broward County Bar. But either way, when I say I discussed kind of what family law is, and so that's pretty much my practice at this point. Michelle?
Hey, okay, Colette, back to you. Thank you so much, Ava. That was very informative. Colette, back to you.
Okay, sign of the times, guys. I'm in Florida, I'm in Broward County. There's a thunderstorm and it knocked me offline. So yes, so I am back. So I was just basically introducing myself and just explaining that I'm involved in a lot of organizations. I try to stay current. Law is evolving and you always just want to make sure that you stay current and so you're best able to advise your clients. So like I mentioned before, I am an elder law attorney and a lot of people upon meeting me will go, what is that? I've never met an elder law attorney. Sometimes I'm frequently the very first elder law attorney they've ever met. And a lot of people don't know what one is until they have a need for one. So elder law really is a very highly specialized area of law. And basically we deal with people as they are aging or needs as they age later. So it's, not something that you necessarily need right now. I have a lot of clients who are 18 years old and just turned to become an adult, and they want to make sure that they plan so that their parents could have access to their school records, or if they go away to college, their parents will have be able to speak to a doctor if they ever happen to get admitted to a hospital. Or give them some kind of a power of attorney so they could continue to do financial things for them. So it's just a matter of planning for things that happen to you while you are alive, anticipating if you ever need someone to assist you, whether it's caring for your person or caring for your property, for your possessions. And frequently I advise everyone to plan currently, plan when there's no crisis looming on the horizon, so that in the event of a crisis, you already have everything in place and you could just really focus on handling the crisis at hand. So that's basically we do a lot of advanced directives. We prepare estate plans. Um, we If someone is incapacitated, we will help you, guide you through the process. If you have to get the courts involved and go into a guardianship, when someone passes away, we do probates and trust, and we do administrations. We deal a lot with conflicts within the family. People don't always get along, surprise surprise, and when someone passes away and they leave possessions, there's always a lot of fight, or frequently a lot of fighting about who gets what. So if I get involved early on in the planning, I'll help, defray some of that by saying, this is how we need to phrase this, and these are documents we need to have in place, so to minimize the fighting with your family later, and to have things stand up so your wishes are actually what gets upheld, and your money will go to who you want it to go to, and it won't be wasted paying lawyers and fighting for years in court. Other things that I do is, as people age and they want to access government benefits for their long-term care, I help to do asset preservation. So you might be able to put some of your money in whether a pool trust, a special needs trust, or do a lot of different asset preservation vehicles so that you could preserve your assets, at the same time qualify for government benefits to defray the cost of a nursing home. A typical nursing home or rehab facility costs average $10,000-$12,000 per month. I recently ran into a situation where we had a lady, hers was $800 per day. I thought the family was making a mistake, so I called the administrator myself. It's $800 per day, $30,000 per month. I don't care how much you have saved up, that's going to go pretty quickly. So they got me involved so I could help to preserve her assets and have the government public benefits help to pay some of that, so she could stay longer, and also her husband, a community spouse, could maintain some of that money to help him live and continue to buy groceries and keep the lights on at home. So those are some of the things that we do. And when Michelle initially contacted me and asked me to be a part of this, and she'll tell you I was a bit hesitant because I'm busy, I got a lot going on, I'm running a practice, and it was in the middle of the pandemic, and and I was like, and then I said to her, you know what, I'm gonna do it, and here is why. As long as I've been doing this, I don't have a lot of clients that look like me. Our people are notorious for not planning. And if I could do anything to offset that, then sign me up. So here I am, wanting to give back to my community. My community has been very, very good and generous to me, and I want to pay forward and give back. So I'm here. I'm a resource. I would love to have people reach out to me and see what you could do. You don't have to have a lot of money to use someone like me. Because some people think you only need an estate planning attorney if I have a big estate, and that's not true. It's also about preserving your quality of life and taking care of things for your loved ones, planning ahead of time, giving yourself peace of mind to your loved ones. And once you do your planning, you could just pretty much put it into a safe deposit box or wherever you store it, and kind of forget about it and not have to constantly be in fear. If something happens to me, then what?
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That was very informative. As she said, she's here to assist, because in our community, we do not take it seriously. Okay. So going on, we're going to go on to our next speaker, which is Latanji Williams, and she's here in Jacksonville also. Latanji? Okay. Let me unmute.
Sorry about that. Hello, everyone. Me and my family represent Montego Bay, the St. James Parish. Been here for a very long time. And of course, I grew up pretty much in Jacksonville, pretty much all my life besides college. And I got into immigration because of my family. In law school, I always said, well, in high school, I said to myself, I was going to be a doctor or a lawyer. I told my family. It was the O.J. Simpson trial that happened, I believe, the end of my 10th grade year or 9th grade year. And I got so caught up in it to where that became my passion, criminal law. And once I got to law school that first semester, I'm like, oh yeah, this isn't for me. And because I had so many family relatives that were having issues with immigration issues and couldn't come into the country for family reunions. And I'm like, well, why can't they come? And so that's how I got into immigration. Just so happened I needed a class to fit into my schedule. It was simple as that. I had 2 small children. When I started law school, they were, I want to say 4 and 1. And I had to be finished with school and back across the bridge to pick them up from daycare. And so me just simply inquiring what classes can I put in my schedule where I can get credits, but be done with school. And it ended up being immigration. And that's how I fell in love with it. And it gives me the greatest reward because I'm able to help so many people that feel they're stuck, they've gotten bad advice, and they kind of get railroaded. Immigration is the bulk of my practice, maybe 95%. And the other percentage gets divided between criminal law as it pertains to my immigration clients. Usually that's post-conviction relief, trying to get a charge overturned that they may have taken a plea for 20 years prior, thinking, okay, well, my attorney told me if I take this plea, I'll get time served, I can get out and get back to life. And what they don't realize is when they try to go home to wherever home is, or go on a cruise or what have you, and try to come back in the country, they're stopped and get put into deportation. And that's usually how I meet most of my clients, through the removal process. I do also handle some family law stuff, very small percentage, usually cohabitation agreements. And that's been very popular lately for people that aren't married, that just happen to live together. And what happens when they break up? Who gets the entertainment system that we both paid for, or who gets the bedroom set? So you kind of put a contract into place to spell that out so that there's not any issues down the road. And then the last area that I work in is entertainment law. And that kind of crosses over with immigration as well. A couple of artist friends of mine do perform throughout the world and here in America. So I do some things for them, read over contracts and things of that nature. Even though I'm in Jacksonville, I do handle worldwide cases when it comes to immigration. I have traveled globally, but usually I travel just within the United States. Other things that I do involve being the president of the Jamaicans United organization. Michelle actually is the vice president of that. And we do some social things. We actually adopted a nursing home in Trelawney, which is where Michelle is from. And we were able to obtain a lot of things like games. My children donated a Wii that they weren't playing with anymore for the exercise benefits. We checkers, all kinds of games, because these people had nothing. They didn't even have a TV. So we bought a TV and, just to give back there. And so one of our big events that we do every year is called World of Nations here locally in Jacksonville. It's normally in the spring, where we kind of highlight the country. The Jamaica Tours Board and Michelle's firm and other friends of ours with businesses sponsor us to just highlight the food, the culture, the music. The last thing that is very important to me is working with the Northeast Florida Human Trafficking Coalition. That organization here is in Jacksonville. And I won't say I only got involved because I have children. I think I would have gotten involved anyhow. Actually, one of my first cases in law school in our clinic dealt with a young lady that had been trafficked. And basically her mother was Jamaican, gave her up at birth. She got adopted by English couple, ended up in England, and then the birth mother sought them out later, promised them, hey, come to America, I'm going to get y'all green cards, all this stuff. And then when this woman comes, she's now an adult with her own children, the grandmother takes their documents. So now they're stuck. You can't prove who you are. You're scared to talk to the police about it because you feel you're going to be deported. And it just spiraled out of control, where ultimately my client was hired as a babysitter for a man, to help bring in money because the mother couldn't work legally. And ultimately that 14-year-old girl got impregnated by this 50-something-year-old man. And we had to get the FBI involved to get her certified as a trafficking victim. And we got a lot of agencies to help us. So if anyone out there is interested, you don't have to be a lawyer for that. We work with the police agencies, state, local, and federal. We work with social service agencies to help some of these girls get furniture, clothes, whatever they need, because a lot of them are stuck. And so someone presented a question to me before, what does this have to do with Jamaica? Well, we have Jamaican immigrants here in the US. And someone could simply be coming on a visa to visit and think about, well, I'm going to stay and I may marry this person or what have you. And people tend to take your documents and use those things as leverage. So if you find yourself in that situation, or you know of a young girl in that situation that's stuck, feel like they can't talk to anyone, there is immigration help, and it's in the form of a U visa. It's probably about 13 years old, but it's basically designed for people that are victims to be able to come forward to the police without that fear of being detained or arrested. But the police want you to come forward so they can prosecute the people that are doing these things. So I just want everyone out there to know there is help. If you know someone, we normally go out and speak and do seminars at schools, churches, and hotels, because hotel workers need to know what to look out for. If you all look at statistics regarding Super Bowl, human trafficking is a big problem during that time. So if people can know what to look out for, they can possibly help save a young girl's life. And I think other than that, I am a member of the Florida Bar, the Middle District of Florida, and the Caribbean Bar Association. And of course, now this great organization that I'm speaking for today.
Okay, thank you so much, Latanji. That was a lot of information, and human trafficking is a big thing. It's a big issue that needs to be addressed. Now we'll turn over to our next speaker, Simone Archer. Simone? Okay, let me unmute you. Simone?
Yes.
Welcome. Hi, Simone.
Thank you. Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. So my name is Simone Archer. I'm a native of Kingston, Jamaica. Currently, I live in New York State. I am a administrative law judge for the Office of Administrative Trials and Hearings for New York City. I also have a general practice firm, Archer, Harvey and Smith, LLC. So my firm, general practice, means we have a lot of practice areas. We do family law, we do immigration law, we do real estate, we do business law, and things of that nature. I'm also the president of the Caribbean Attorneys Network here in New York. So the Caribbean Attorneys Network is an organization for attorneys or non-attorneys to network, so that they can network and socialize and get involved in the community. As a networking organization, we try to associate young attorneys with older attorneys so that they can have mentorship. Then we do also do events for the community. We do different type of events for the community. Other community organization I'm involved in, I did the VARIC Removal Defense Project. That's where people in removal proceeding, if they don't have an attorney, I'll go in and assist there. I also did the foreclosure intervention network. People were going through foreclosure proceeding and need assistance with that. I participate in that. I've also participated in the Safe Passage program. That's for juveniles who enter the country without documentation and they need representation in order so that they can obtain their paperwork. I've participated in that organization. So I'm happy to be a member of this organization so that legally any type of assistance I can provide to the community, I can go ahead and do so. Thank you.
Thank you, Simone. That's so good. You're well-rounded. And New York, we do need a lot of assistance, especially with juveniles. I do get in contact with a few of issues in regards to their status. So that's definitely good. Okay, our next speaker, I'm not sure if she's here, Nadine. I don't think she's here.
She won't make it.
Oh, she won't make it? Okay, that's fine. Terry, are you ready to go?
Yes.
She's our last student.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Terry Ann Campbell. I am a native. I grew up in Kingston, Jamaica, but I would be remiss if I didn't shout out to my St. James Massive, where my family's from. So I am a final year law student. I was in law school, and I'm still a student of Vermont Law School. And as you can imagine, in Vermont, there are not a lot of people that look like me. And so this is very important for me to tell you that as a Jamaican or as someone from the Caribbean, if you want to pursue your dreams and your passion and follow and to become a lawyer, you can do that, okay? So I want to talk to you a little bit about just how to even enter law school. And as you've heard from the panelists today, there's so many different opportunities in the law and so many different skills that you can exercise, right? So law school for me, moving to the US as an adult was very enigmatic. I had to try to navigate and try to figure out what to do, how to get into law school, right? So the first thing is I did the LSAT, and then after the LSAT, then I had to start doing my applications and chose a law school. So as I said, I'm in my final year. I am currently living in Atlanta, Georgia, where I hope to practice. And unfortunately, as Latanji pointed out, human trafficking is a big issue here in Atlanta. These are some of the issues that even as Jamaicans, we need to address and talk about. I've been involved in a couple of areas. I'm pursuing a general practice certificate, which allows me to pursue several areas of practice. So under my belt, I have done commercial law, bankruptcy, immigration clinic, which is very dear and near to my heart. And I've done this summer, worked in the employment law field. And this fall, I'll be interning the trial court level. So as you can see, you don't have to wait until you become a practicing attorney to be involved in your community. There are a lot of things that you can do as a law student. So of course, after taking the LSAT, I entered law school, and then next year, July 2021, I'll be taking the Georgia bar, which will allow me to practice law in the state of Georgia. Okay, I'm what you call a student ambassador at my school, so therefore I'm a peer mentor to other incoming students, law students. When I arrived in Vermont, there were no Jamaicans there. I was the only one representing Jamaica, and coming out, I think I left 2 there. So you can definitely do it too if you're thinking about the legal field, or if you just are interested in knowing what it takes to become a lawyer. Currently, I'm also involved in the Gate City Bar Association here in Atlanta. They give a great support for minority students. And I'm also a member of the Atlanta Bar Association. I'm fluent in French, so that's one good skill that has helped me as a law student. In the immigration clinic where I worked, I actually got to work with French-speaking clients from all over the world. So that was one great plus for me. Now, law school is challenging, but as I said before, you can do it, right? It's a lot of hours of studying, and that's why all of our lovely panelists here are experts in their field, right? It's focused studying, hours of concentration, and of course, we have to go through rigorous exams, right? But in the end, it will be all worth it, and you have us to consult with as your advisors, counselors, and mentors, right? Now, what are some of the qualities that you look for in a great lawyer? Well, there's a joke that says a good lawyer knows a law, but a great lawyer knows a judge. But jokes aside, you want to have a lawyer that is passionate about what they do, right? And that is what led me to attend law school. Even though I've had 2 or so careers before, I have a passion to help people, and I have a passion for the law, right? A lawyer is also a great communicator because we transcend so many different disciplines. We are in contact with so many different members of the public, right? So communication is a great skill to have. We have compassion for clients, right? We are out there, some of us work on the field, we're out there in the trenches with our clients. but sometimes we're also in the office, right? But either way, we're working tirelessly to help our clients, and we have compassion. Strong writing ability is also a good skill to have. That I'm gonna be doing also as a member of the Vermont Journal of Environmental Law. I've had to stretch my writing ability and develop a lot of intricate writing skills, which will be useful for me being in trial court this semester. And also attention to detail. That's very important. You know, as lawyers, we have to go through pages and pages of documents. And last but not least, a great lawyer has good judgment. We have to have good judgment in dealing with our clients, dealing with our adversaries, and helping to solve the problems that are in front of us. So if you want to know more about entering law school, you now know where to find me. I'm grateful for this organization, grateful for my fellow panelists, and thank you so much.
You're welcome, Terry. Your future is very bright. You have the right attitude. Okay, thank you so much, Terry. So this is some of the members of our task force that were available today to provide information about their area of practice and what they do. And as I stated earlier, you could definitely go onto our Facebook page at Jamaica Diaspora Legal Support Sector and Immigration Task Force. And on that page, you'll find our information, our data, our contact information, or you could go on jdtan.org to send us a message. Right now, I see that we have one question so far. I guess this person joined the conversation after we started. So basically, they're asking what is a task force, and they wanted more information on the task force and some of the ways that we could help people. So that stated before, the task force is made up of attorneys who practice in various areas. And the main goal is to provide information to our community and to arm individuals with the necessary information. The attorneys practice in various areas. So whatever area you have an issue in, whether it's immigration, whether it's family law, you can definitely reach out to our task force. We'll provide you the guidance in order to answer your questions or provide you service. Once you contact us, an attorney-client relationship is not established. There are steps you'll have to take. Once that is done, if we provide the information, we'll also use our network to update you on whatever relevant changes there are in regards to the law and to provide you with, basic information that you'd need to traverse as you go through your daily. And as the attorney stated, like you have Latanji that does human trafficking along with immigration, and you have Simone that works with juvenile. And Colette that is really good with estate planning, which is a major issue. And one person has commented that it's really a serious problem within our community that needs to be addressed. So with her help, we'll provide more information to assist those within our community so that we're better equipped to deal with the after, what happens after, or while you're here, what needs to be done to keep everything in place. So for now, we only had one question. Do any of the panelists want to expound further on any topic or any area that they practice or something that they want to drive home? Okay, if not, as you know, I'll just say one thing.
I have
Okay.
something. I
Okay.
wanted to let everybody know who's watching that I've had cases where sometimes, people think that if they have something in another country, an asset in Jamaica, for instance, that, it's hidden and nobody knows about it. But that's not necessarily the case, because we can do valuations there. So if somebody owns a business in Jamaica, we can definitely still value that business to make sure that the court here can make a determination as to how that asset should get distributed between the parties during a divorce. The other piece of that is that sometimes people live part-time in the States and part-time in Jamaica, or one parent lives in Jamaica and one parent lives in the States. So I've had circumstances where we've had to, you know, come up with very creative time sharing plans so that the parents could share time with the children as equally and, you know, as reasonably as possible. But those are some of the things that I thought that I should mention now that come up in my practice pretty often, especially having assets in another country.
That's true.
Don't think that we can't come for it, or that, you know, we won't be able to find it because it's in another country.
Yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And while you're on that topic, another important thing that I see we're having an issue with is a lot of people, when they do file their taxes, if they're in and out of the United States, they do not mention incomes that they are making outside of the country. You are required to, and it's becoming an issue now because they're more detailed with tracking information with individuals traveling back and forth, especially between other countries. I have cases where they have looked into it and asked them, have you filed your taxes? What do you do outside of the country? So it's very important. And another thing, I see another question coming in. I'm not sure if anybody could answer this. This is pertaining to practice. With an LLB qualifying law degree from a university in England, what is the requirement to sit the multi-state bar exam to achieve a JD or to be able to practice in the United States? Is anybody familiar?
Your question went in and out, Michelle. I couldn't hear it.
Okay, the question is, with an LLB qualifying law degree from a university in England, what is the requirement to sit the multi-state bar exam to achieve a JD or to be able to practice immigration law in the United States?
I want to take a stab at it just from the limited knowledge that I know. I know for New York State, I'm not sure if Georgia has that reciprocity, but I know New York State allows a lot of foreign trained and foreign qualified lawyers. And I think with the LLB, there might be some qualifying exams. I'm not sure. The best thing to do is to go to the New York State bar website, and then I think you have to respond to a few qualifying questions, and then it will lead you on to the steps that you need to take.
Okay, that was good. Yes, and whatever state you want to practice in, just go on that state bar website, and they'll give you detailed information. You could definitely contact the bar and they'll tell you what steps you'll need to take. And well, I guess that's that for today. I hope everyone was informed. I hope your questions were answered, like what's the task force and why you should tune in, and then you see the relevance. And just look forward to what we have planned. We'll be doing virtual town hall meetings monthly. We'll be doing seminars, like each attorney within their practice area will be hosting seminars. And on our Facebook, it will be interactive, where we'll be asking questions and to see what's important to you and what topics you'll want us to discuss further. Okay, so definitely stay tuned, and I hope you enjoyed meeting all of us. Have a lovely afternoon.
Thank
Michelle,
you.
the survey.
Okay.
Michelle,
Yes,
the survey, did you post that today?
yeah, I could post it today.
Okay.
Okay, we'll be posting a survey today if it's not logged off. Sorry. We'll be posting on Facebook today, a poll today on our Facebook page. So please share with us your answers so we could serve you best. Well, thank you. Have a lovely afternoon.